See, we know this general format or the syntax of for loop for expression 1, expression 2, expression 3. Okay. And even we know the purpose of these things. So expression 1 indicates so to give the initial value to the variable. Okay. So expression 2 indicates so we have to write the condition in place of expression 2. So expression 3 indicates either increment or decrement. Okay. Either you have to increase the value of variable or you have to decrease the value of the variable. Okay. Then, so these are the statements of the loop, so which are going to be executed many times until the condition becomes false. Okay. Now, so this is the examples what I have taken. For I is equals to 1, so this is expression 1, I less than or equals to 5, so it is expression 2, then I plus plus, that is expression 3. And this is the statement of the for loop. Okay. So we know the working of the for loop, we have discussed in the previous class. So this particular statement is executed first, okay, I is equals to 1, and it is executed only once. So I is equals to 1, this statement is not repeated. Okay. Then after second statement executed is I less than or equals to 5. Then immediately it will not go for I plus plus. So this particular statement is executed. That is C of I. So it prints the value of I. After that it will move to the I plus plus. So you can say fourth step of execution. Okay. So second step, third step, and fourth step. So after the fourth step, we come to the second step to check the condition again, whether it is true or not. After this, again we come to the third step. So second, third, and fourth steps, these steps are repeated. So this became done. And even we know the output of this, it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fine. Now, this loop, in how many ways we can write, I will tell you. Okay, because in one line, I have written 3 statements. That is, I is equals to 1, I less than or equals to 5, I plus. See, when you talk about the line, you have to say this is one line. Don't say like one statement. It is one line. When you speak about statements, 3 statements. I is equals to 1, I less than or equals to 5, I plus. Because if you come across semicolon, that is the end of one particular statement. So I is equals to 1, that is one statement. I less than or equals to 5, another statement. I plus plus, third statement. So in English, we have full stop to end the sentence. Here, semicolon to end the statement. But this is one complete line. So in English also, in one line, you can write many sentences. Okay, in one particular line, we can write 2 or 3 sentences. Similarly, in one line, we have written 3 statements. Okay. Now, these statements, how we can write in different ways, I will tell you. Okay. See, when we look at this problem, say 3 statements, that is initialization, condition, and increment or decrement are written in one line, right? So instead of this, what I can do is, you can take out this I is equals to 1 outside, and even I plus plus also. 2 statements you can take outside the loop. Outside the loop, in sense, I will tell you how to write. So if you want to write I is equals to 1 outside the loop, before you start the for loop, you can write. So that is I is equals to 1, then you write the for loop. So as we do with the while loop, similarly here also, do while loop we have written, right? Similarly. So I is equals to 1, you write outside. Then inside the for loop, if this statement is not there, instead of this statement, what you have to write is, you have to just put semicolon indicating that statement is already written. So I is equals to 1, I have written outside the for loop. Outside in the sense, not after the completion of the loop, before the starting of the loop. Okay. Then you write I less than or equals to 5 inside the loop. Okay. Then given I plus plus. So this also works in the right. So I and then. Okay, this is one way of writing. So what I have done, I is equals to 1, I have written outside the loop, that is before starting the loop. So this is one way of writing. So I can say this is one way. Next, second way. So, sorry. So this you can consider first way of writing because everything in one line. Initialization, condition, and increment. And this you can say second way of writing. Second way of writing for next way. So third way is like, look here. So we write I is equals to 1 inside of it. Okay. I less than or equals to 5. But I plus plus I will write not in this line. Okay. In different line. I will tell you where to write. So C out I and L. Okay. After C out, you can write I plus plus. Anyways, after C out only I plus plus is executed, right? So we can write like this. So I is equals to 1, I less than or equals to 5, put semicolon, and I plus plus you can write inside the loop. Okay, this is the third way of writing. Okay, working is same, so there is no change in the working process. Even output also we get same, but this loop how we can write in different ways. Okay, next coming to the fourth way. So write I is equals to 1 before starting of the loop, then for loop, semicolon you put it. See, whenever you write I is equals to 1 before starting the loop, then inside the loop you put semicolon. Okay. Then I less than or equals to 5. Okay. And even see I plus plus also you can write inside the loop. I plus plus. You don't write I plus plus before starting of the loop. That is, you should not say I equal to 1 and I plus plus, because I plus plus will be executed along with the loop. Whereas I is equals to 1 in this case, before starting of the loop only it can execute it. So the value 1 is assigned to variable I, then inside the loop it will check the condition. So we can write like this. See, these are the ways of writing the for loop. Okay. That means initialization step we can write before starting the loop. Increment step we can write inside the loop. Both initialization step and increment step we can write in different lines. That is initialization before starting the loop, starting of the loop, increment inside the loop. But if you check the condition, this will not change. Okay, condition place, the place where you write the condition will not change. So you have to write there only. Okay, it will never change. So in this way we can write the for loop. And here one more thing what we have to consider in case of looping is, see, whenever we write while of 1, remember, while of 1 indicates always true. So here this indicates always true. Okay. So, and in case of do while also, if I write do some statement, say while of 1, so this also always true. But whereas in for loop, what happens is, if we don't write the condition, this condition, if we don't write, it indicates always true. So again, I will tell you, in case of while loop, we just write while of 1, it indicates always true. That means this loop will execute infinite number of times. It will not stop. Okay. Do while also, in this case also, write 1, it is always true. This loop will execute infinite number of times. In case of for loop, what we have to do to make it infinite number of times, you just say for 2 semicolons. This will execute infinite number of times. That means in the second place, that is expression 2, I was supposed to write a condition, but I have not written. So for loop without a condition is always true. Remember this point. For loop without a condition is always true, and it will execute infinite number of times. And while of 1 indicates always true, it will execute infinite number of times. Same, do while of 1 indicates always true, it will execute infinite number of times. So in case of looping, 2 things you have to remember. Minimum how many number of times looping statement are executed, maximum how many number of times. The maximum means in all the cases infinite. Minimum means in while loop it is 0 number of times. In do while loop it is 1 time. In for loop also you can say 1 time. That means you have to write the condition. Without condition, you cannot write the for loop. If you write without a condition, it is always to execute infinite number of times. Okay. So in this way, for loop can be written. With these different ways of writing for loop, actually I have written as a program in the computer. Now it should. Okay. So I think screen is visible for all of you. Is it visible? Turbo is. Okay. See, this is the first way of writing the for loop. So we have already discussed about this loop. Okay, even we have executed this for loop. Once again, I will show you. Okay, see, when I execute this program as a whole, complete program, see this output we can see. So it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, next. Look at this for loop. Okay. So on the board I have written. So here you look at this screen. Same thing I have written. So that is, see, you look at this step. What I have done. I is equals to 1. I have written outside the for loop. That means before starting the loop, because that is the first statement to be executed in looping. Always, when we give initial value to the variable, that statement should be the first statement to be executed in looping, in while loop, do while loop, as well as in for loop. Okay. One more thing is, those statements are executed only once. So this I is equals to 1, it is executed only once. See here, I will write it as a comment, you will come to know. So executed once. This is a comment. That means we have to tell about this statement. That's all. Okay. It is executed only once. That is this particular statement. I is equals to 1. Next, after that, it will check the condition by substituting the value 1 less than or equals to 5. If that condition is true, so C out I, this statement is executed. Okay. After this statement, so I plus plus will be executed. Okay. Now we will see this program tracing. We can see. See, program is at main control, that is main function. Then clear screen. See, I is equals to 1. Okay. See, that word executed once is not printed. You don't worry. It is a comment. Okay. We have discussed in last class the meaning of comment under. So I is equals to 1. This statement is executed only once. Then you say I less than or equals to 5. That condition is checked simultaneously, and it went to C out I. So here actually you can check the value. The value of I you can check. See, I is equals to 1. It is displaying on the top of the screen, top right corner. Okay. See, the program control will come to I plus plus. Simultaneously, it will execute I less than or equals to 5 also. Okay. So I plus plus means I value will be 2. 2 less than or equals to 5. Condition is true. Once again, your statement is executed. Okay. Again, I plus plus, I value becomes 3. You just observe the I value. That's all. The top right corner, I value is 3. It prints value 3. Okay. Next, I plus plus. So I value will be 4. So after incrementing, simultaneously check the condition also. I less than, it is in the same line, right? So we cannot notice actually. It will check the condition. Okay. 4 less than or equals to 5. Condition is 2. Again, I plus plus, I value becomes 5. 5 less than or equals to 5. Condition is 2. C out statement is executed. Now I value will become 6. It checks the condition simultaneously on the same line. Because the condition is false, 6 less than or equals to 5, condition is false, it comes out of the loop. So it is get CH. Okay. So you observe the output. So you have written backslash n. So it printed in separate lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this is another way. I hope you got it. Everybody got it. The second way of writing for loop. Next, we'll go for the third way. I just look at this program. What I have done is, so I is equals to 1, I have written outside, and I plus plus inside I have written. Okay. So that means two things you can do. Writing initial value outside the loop, that is before starting the loop, and increment step inside the loop. That also you can do. So for this also working process is same. You just observe. So first I will tell you how it works. I is equals to 1 is executed only once. Then it checks the condition I less than or equals to 5. It prints the value, that is whatever the C out statement I have written, C out I. Then this I plus plus will be executed. So this process repeats. Okay, you just check. See, program control is in main function. Okay, clear screen. I is equals to 1. One time it is executed. Next, I less than or equals to 5. Condition is checked. Okay. C out I. Now here at this point, you just keep checking the I value. See, now I value is 1. This value will be printed. Okay. Okay.
So immediately this statement, when this statement is executed, I plus plus, you just observe when it goes to condition, simultaneously the value is also changing. See, I becomes 2. Top right corner, it is visible, I think. I is equals to 2. 2 less than or equals to 5, condition is 2. Again, see your statement. Again, I plus plus, I value becomes 3. 3 less than or equals to 5. I plus plus, I value becomes 4. 4 less than or equals to 5. Cout. Cout means it prints the value. Each time it will print the value. I less than or equals to 5, 5 less than or equals to 5, condition is true, it prints the value. Okay. So I less than or equals to 5, condition is false because I value is 6 now. 6 less than or equals to 5, condition is false. So get CH. So it will come out of the loop. You just check output is same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See here output is same for all the programs related to for loop, but only thing is you have to observe the way how I have written. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I hope you people got it. The execution of for loop. Now we'll move to the next topic. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. So once again, I can execute the programs if you want. So if you have any doubts, anyone can ask. Because for loop is very, very important when we discuss arrays chapter. So I'm telling, if you come across any doubt, you can ask. Or if you want me to explain once again the concept of for loop, I will do it. Is it fine? Shall we move further? Just start and tell. Okay. So we'll move further. No doubts. Fine. See, now before we go to the next topic, okay, that is nested for statement, that is 2 for loops. Today we will discuss 3 programs related to looping concept. Actually, when they ask the question, just they'll ask explain, okay, syntax and example. It can be for loop or while loop or do while, anything for 5 marks. Each carries 5 marks. Okay. So what you people have to do is, right? First you have to write the syntax. Okay. So this explanation you have to do. That means working process. Then you write the flowchart. Okay. Third one, you can write the example. So for example, so tracing not compulsory. If you know, you write it, otherwise you leave it. And if you write, it is not a mistake. Okay, in exam, you don't worry. You don't know, leave it. If you write it, it's not wrong. Because tracing means how you have understood the example problem. And when these questions are there in the exam, if at all, if they ask like example, for example, if they ask to write a program itself, okay, they ask with programming example, okay, then don't write part of the program. So as we have discussed all the examples, don't write like that. We just make it as a program and write. For that purpose, now we will discuss three programs. Three programs in sense, today one program, maybe tomorrow two programs. So we want to know how to write a program for the while loop, for loop, and do it. Okay. Program to print numbers from 1 to n. See here, for the same question, we can discuss by using while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Okay. So before we go to while loop, do while loop, and for loop, first we should think of the output. What output we should get? Okay. What output we should get? In the output, first message it should say as enter the value of n. Enter the value of n. It should say message like this. Next, others to start breaking, we have to enter the value. Say, for example, if I enter 20, okay, even you can enter 100, 200, 1000 also. Next, in the next line, what you should say? The numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, numbers from 1 to 5 are. So in the next line, you should print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be the output. If you make it as 50, you should print till 50. If you make it as 100, you should print till 100. If you make it as 1000, you should print till 1000. Okay. So in this way, you should get the output. That means this number is not fixed number. It is a variable, as I said. So write 5, you should print 5 values. If you say 10, you should print 10 values. Say 100, 1 to 100 like that. So in that way, you have to write the program. But in the examples, what we have considered 5 as a fixed value. But here in this program, we will make it as a variable. So I will tell you how to write the program. So it's very common to write the header first, so I will leave it. So you can write it later. Okay. So just whenever you execute this program, you just write the header first and stuff. So now it may say. Just I will write in and I will leave blank declaration. But later we can write it. Okay. Then clear screen. So you look at the output. Okay, so this is the output. Now can anyone tell the cout statement? What I should write? At enter. Cout statement I should write first. What I should write? You look at the message enter. It's very easy. This message I should write in this cout statement. So enter the value of n. So that should be the first cout statement. So here I write cout. Okay. As the value of n. Then see this particular value, so user will enter 5 or 10 or 15, 20, 100 something. Okay, enter the value. Yes, enter the value is still 2 more words are done of n. That also you should write. Yeah. Next, cin. Okay, why having to write cin means in the output this should be blinking. Others should start blinking. User should enter the value. Directly you should not take 5 in the program. User will enter this 5 or 10, 15, 20, 100 anything. So here cursor should blink. So if we want to make cursor to blink, then how do you see instead? In the console it should blink. So see, instead of writing the value, you take the variable. That variable should be n. So that this 5 will be stored here in variable n. Okay. Next, cout. Look at the output and write the program. It's very easy. Same message. The numbers from 1 to 5. Okay. So here the numbers from 1 to, again you should not write 5 in the program, always. It is not fixed value. For example, I have taken 5, but in the program use variable n. N stands for 5 here. That may change. Okay. So numbers from 1 to n. Okay. From 1 to n. Okay. In the next line, you should print 1 to 5. So only have the n delta. Okay. Next. So it's very simple. If I take the while loop concept, while I less than or equals to n. Instead of 5, in the example I have taken 5, here n indicates 5. Okay? So see out, okay, I backslash t. Backslash t, what I have taken is t stands for tab. Tab means horizontal space it will leave. Between 1 and 2, some space. Between 2 and 3, some space. Between 3 and 4, some space. If you take endl or backslash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will print in separate lines. If I take backslash t, in the same line, by giving some spaces. So even I can say little bit more space here. Because tab means always it is not only one space, more space to be. I can say to here. This much space it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have taken this one. Okay, and you see from 1 to 2, if you compare, by one value it is increased, not by two values. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. So by one value it is increasing. So you take plus plus. Okay, if you take plus plus, it will increase by one value. If you take minus minus, it will decrease by one value. If you take I is equals to I plus 2, it will increase by 2 values. If you take I equal to I plus 3, it will increase by 3 values. So for incrementing by only one value, you just take plus plus. And if you want to increase by 2, you should not just say I plus 2. If you say I plus 2, it will not increase by 2. You have to neatly say I is equals to I plus 2. If you want to increase by 3, I is equals to I plus 2. Only for one, this facility is there. If you write just plus plus, the meaning of just plus plus is I is equals to I plus 1. And even you can write I equals I plus 1 or I plus 1. But for I plus 2 and I plus 3, if you just write I plus 2, it will not increment. You have to say compulsory I is equals to I plus 2. I is equals to I plus 3. Only for writing I equal to I plus 1, we can write only this I plus plus. Understood? Hope everybody got this concept. Only for writing I plus plus, sorry, I equal to I plus 1, we have I plus plus. But for plus 2 plus 3 increment, we should not just say I plus 2 or I plus 3. We have to say full statement. I equal to I plus 2 or I equal to I plus 3. Okay. So this I plus plus can be written as I is equals to I plus 1 or I plus is equals to 1. 3 ways of writing I plus plus. Okay. 3 ways of writing I plus plus is I is equals to I plus 1 or I plus is equals to 1 or I plus plus. So 3 statements works the same. That is, each time I value will be incremented by 1. Okay. This plus equals to written, right? So this is called as shorthand operator. In first chapter, I think you people know shorthand operator. So shorthand operators are plus is equals to, minus equals to, into equals to, division equals to, mod equals to. These are all shorthand operators. Plus equals to, minus equals to, star equals to, division equals to, mod equals to. These are all shorthand operators. So this will be converted to I equal to I plus 1. In turn, it is converted to I plus 1. Understood? So in 3 ways you can write. Then close. Let's see. Okay. I hope everybody got this program. So once again, I will tell you, this working process we have already discussed. I hope everybody know the tracing. So once I have written the tracing also, in the notes also it is there, tracing. I have taken the I value 5 here, person. So if I take here 50, 50 is substituted here. In place of n, 50 is substituted, and it prints till 50. That much. So you can test this program in your home by changing the n value. By taking 50, 100, 200, 500, 1000, you can check it. So it will print 1 to 50, 1 to 1000, 1 to 2000 like that. Okay. So this is by using while. So tomorrow, that means in the next class, do while loop and for loop will be discussed. So remaining time I will give you can just note down this program. Okay. Or you can take the pic of that screenshot you can take. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can ask for this particular program. If you have any doubts, you can ask. So for 1 or 2 minutes, we just look at the program and try to understand. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow. So this particular program, I will send you the notes. Okay, you can copy the program in the notepad and save it in the Turbos editor and you can execute. Okay.